Hi there, mums. How are we all today? My name's Ali Price, and I run a business called Motivating Mum, which offers support and advice for mums in business. And this video is following on from my previous one on why it's a good idea to review your year, your goals on an ongoing basis. I promised then I would do one on goal setting, so here I am. What I'm going to talk about today is, obviously there's a lot of information that you could cover on goal setting. So I just wanted to basically give my top 5 tips for goal setting today, and hopefully they can help you ongoing. So the first one is, for me, is know why you have the goals that you do. It's very easy to get swept away with business. It's very easy to get swept away with what everybody else is doing. And it's very easy to get swept away with what you think would be fantastic to achieve. But it's not always necessary, these things that you would like to achieve, not always actually necessary for your business. For example, you might have a goal to get into a particular magazine just because maybe you like the idea of being in that magazine, or, you revere that magazine. But if you know why you have the goals that you do, then this will allow you to determine whether you actually should be in that magazine. So, for example, your goals might be to target a particular target market, but when you look at the target market that magazine has, it might not be a match. So it's really good to understand why you want to achieve the goals you do, because it will really help you set very effective and very pinpointed goals and really get you going where you need to and where you want to more efficiently than just chasing after any old star that, happens to shine brightly for you. So the next tip for me is to break your goals down once you have them into very small achievable pieces. Obviously, there are many reasons for doing this. If you have them in small achievable pieces, it makes it seem easier to take on each step as it comes along, as opposed to just looking at this massive goal at the end and saying, I can't do that. It also makes it easier to achieve because it's a step-by-step process then. For me, the main reason I love breaking my goals down into little pieces is that I then schedule each of those pieces in my diary, and then I can then forget about them. I know that that goal is taken care of for the whole year or whatever period of time it may be, and that as I turn each page on my diary, as the little pieces come up, that's when I do them. It's just so much easier because you can get all that information out of your head and, into your diary or into your iPhone or whatever, and you know that they're there and ready to go and pop up when needs be. The next tip is to get into a routine. It's a lot easier to achieve goals when they're really just a habit and you're doing them on a daily basis without even realizing that you're doing them in the end. What I try and do is I always try, when I'm scheduling my little achievable pieces, I also always try and schedule them at times or at dates when I know that I will be able to do them. However, sometimes it doesn't always work. Sometimes the ideal, situation is that, you're going to do these 5 tweets at this time of every day. But when you get actually around to doing it, it doesn't work for you and you find that you're actually not achieving those goals. So that's when you need to actually sit down and review the process. And this brings me on to my 4th tip, which is always be reviewing. Sit down and review the process and say, right, why am I not getting these 5 tweets done at this time? Is it because it's a really boring job? Is it because it's just at the wrong time for me and I'm not even awake then? And for me, I think a really important thing with goal setting is not that you just set your goal and you set down your achievable pieces and then leave it. You have to constantly be reviewing and asking yourself, am I getting these things done? And if so, and if not, why aren't I getting them done? And then once you know why you're not getting them done, try and refit them into your routine or into your schedule at that different time, or maybe with a little reward at the end of it, and then see how that fits. And if that doesn't fit, then you need to constantly be reviewing and trying to get it into your schedule until it does fit and it does take. And after a while of doing it, it just becomes something that's a part of your everyday, and it's not something that you need to force yourself to do or schedule to do. And the last thing for me that I think a lot of people forget is just to reward yourself. And this could be as simple as just acknowledging when you've achieved a little bite-sized piece, or acknowledging when you've achieved your goal, and patting yourself on the back and saying, geez, do you know what? You did a really, really good job then. And because you've achieved this, this is the outcome that you've actually created for yourself. And when you reward yourself, it makes you more eager and more keen to go forward and do more. You might even want to take it a step further and reward yourself with, a cup of tea and your feet up and a magazine, which, is about all I'd have time for these days. Or to go out on the town with your girlfriends or your husband or your boyfriend and just have a really good night of it and really acknowledge that you have done a great job achieving that goal, no matter how big or how small. So I would say that they would be my 5 top tips for goal setting. I find that, you've got all your usual, usual goal tips for achieving goals, but when you add these on top of it, it just helps make them stick a little bit better, and hopefully they will for you too. So that's it for me today. If you ever want to contact me for any help or business support or anything, you can always do so through my forum, which is motivatingmum.com/mums-forum. And until next time, I look forward to speaking to you then. Bye.